It was an unseasonably warm autumn afternoon when Emma first spotted the kangaroo. She was on her usual hike through the Australian outback, surrounded by the vast, untouched wilderness that she loved so much. Emma had always felt a deep connection with the animals here, perhaps because her family had been conservationists for generations. They believed in protecting the land and its creatures. But that day, something wasn't right. As she made her way along the dusty trail, Emma noticed a movement in the distance. At first, she thought it was just another kangaroo hopping through the brush. But as she got closer, her heart sank. The animal was limping, dragging its back leg with a noticeable injury. Emma immediately recognized the kangaroo for what it was: an eastern gray, injured, and alone. Without a second thought, she approached the creature cautiously, knowing how easily wild animals could become frightened. But this kangaroo, despite its injury, seemed calm, almost as if it knew Emma was there to help. As she drew closer, she saw the extent of the damage. Its leg was badly hurt, possibly broken. The kangaroo was in pain, but there was no sign of aggression, only vulnerability. Emma's instincts kicked in. She knew she couldn't leave the animal to suffer. Carefully, she extended her hand and spoke softly, attempting to reassure the kangaroo. Using the first aid kit she always carried during her hikes, she wrapped the leg as best as she could and created a sling to help support it. Then, with immense care, she lifted the kangaroo into the back of her Jeep, determined to get it to the nearest wildlife hospital. The road to recovery wasn't easy. The kangaroo, whom Emma named Roo, was terrified at first, refusing to eat or drink. Emma spent sleepless nights tending to Roo, talking to her, and making sure she felt safe. Slowly, Roo began to trust her, and over the next few weeks, she regained strength. With the help of doctors, Roo's leg healed, but Emma knew it would take time for the animal to fully adjust to her new life. As the months passed, Emma and Roo formed a deep bond. Roo was no longer the wild creature who had stumbled into Emma's life in pain. She had become a part of Emma's family. She would follow Emma around the property, hop alongside her during walks, and even curl up next to her on the porch during the cool evenings. Years went by, and Roo became a healthy, strong kangaroo once more. Emma knew it was time to release her back into the wild, where she truly belonged. The day came when Emma opened the gates of her property, allowing Roo the freedom she deserved. Emma watched as the kangaroo paused at the edge of the forest, looking back at her one last time before bounding into the wilderness. What happened next would be something no one, least of all Emma, could have predicted. Months later, Emma received an unexpected knock on her door. When she opened it, her jaw nearly hit the floor. Standing in her front yard was Roo, and she wasn't alone. To Emma's astonishment, Roo had returned with a joey clinging to her pouch. Roo had not only survived in the wild but had thrived, and she had come back to show Emma just how much the bond between them meant. In the years since Emma had saved her, Roo had found a mate, started a family, and created a new life, but she had come back to the person who had saved her life, the person who had given her a second chance. Emma stood there in awe as Roo, with her joey in tow, hopped back into the wild that had always been her true home. Emma smiled through the tears in her eyes, knowing that her act of kindness had set something beautiful in motion, a circle of life that had come full circle. The next morning, when Emma went out to check on her property, she saw Roo and her baby once more, watching from the edge of the forest. They didn't need to approach her anymore. They had what they needed. Emma's heart swelled with pride. She had helped one wild creature survive, and in doing so had witnessed a miracle, the power of kindness returning in ways she never could have imagined. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe for more interesting videos, like and share this video. Have a nice day.